Hello and welcome. Good afternoon, good morning, and good night whenever you are watching. My name is Savannah. I'm a developer advocate at Redis, and today we're going to start a brand new project. New year, new project. I haven't streamed in quite a while. I took some good time off for the holidays. I moved to a new office. If you've been around, it's very clear that this is a new office space for me. Yeah, just took some good time off for the holidays, hung out with some family, painted a room, moved my office. It was great, but now I'm back. So we're starting a brand new project, and the sort of like main focus point is going to be using the Twitter API. The sort of like possible end goal, here, I'll go ahead and share my screen because I actually have something for it. Today, we're going to attempt to have fun exploring the Twitter API and with a possible end use of competitive marketing. And by that, I mean, one second. By that, I mean this sort of idea that, like, hypothetically, we're going to use Guy Royce. I actually meant to ask him if I could do that. So I'm going to do that right now. But my idea is that Guy Royce is my nemesis. Can I use your Twitter account on stream as my competitive marketing nemesis? So the idea is, if I want to see when people are tweeting at Guy Royce or when Guy Royce's like general sentiments of his tweets go negative, then I capitalize that and I'm not like, come check me out instead. Like, oh, you tweeted something negative about Guy, come check out my stream instead. So that obviously is a small use case, but hypothetically, instead of it being me talking about Guy as my nemesis, if you were like a dairy farmer who lobbied to make it so that oat milk couldn't use the word milk, which is your fun fact for today. Dairy farms very strongly lobbied that oat milk and almond milk, etc., could not be called milk. But maybe you want to monitor how people are feeling about those dairy alternatives. And whenever like that sentiment goes negative, you try to capitalize on that. So that's the sort of potential end idea here. But when I say we're starting a new project, I mean, the only thing I have for this so far is my Twitter API keys, which I'm not going to show you because then you could use my Twitter API keys and you're going to rate limit me. So that's on the screen you can't see. But we're going to get started with that. If you'll give me 1 second to cough. Yes, so brand new project from the very beginning of starting with this Twitter API. I've got their sample code to create a tweet. I've got Visual Studio Code over here. And when I say I haven't started anything, I mean anything. So we're starting from the very beginning with I should probably at least like make a directory for it, shouldn't I? So let's clear that. That's my Redis CLI, so I need to exit out of that. Let me make that bigger. So let's see, desktop, nope, users, Savannah, desktop, Git projects. This will eventually be on GitHub when it's, necessary, when it's needed. Actually, I probably will push this after this stream just because I like to make my code available so that you guys can check it out, comment on it. If you do, I might incorporate that feedback into my next stream. So Git projects, Twitter API. Oh, nope, that's because that was the wrong. I want to change directory to Git projects. And then I want to make a directory called Twitter API testing. Testing is bad. Let's call it Twitter Redis. And then we'll cd into there. And then we'll touch main.py. Nope, that's not how you spell that. Touch main.py. Cool. So now I can go in here. In case you're not familiar with touch, it's super convenient, in my opinion, for things like this, where I'm like, yeah, I just want to make a file. It exists now, so I can go in here and open it. It's empty, but that's okay, because we're going to start that file now. I'm thinking that's about the right size. We'll go one more. Import. Perfect. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is import Redis. Yeah, I don't know that we'll actually use Redis this stream, since we're sort of starting out with the Twitter API, and we'll get to the Redis portion when we're like pulling in enough tweets that we need to store them somewhere. But we're going to go and start with that one. Oh, and new stream. Cool. Thanks. This is what I spent one of those weeks that I wasn't streaming setting up. It's got a lot of things that make me smile when I walk in and see it. So that was the goal. And after that, we're kind of going to come over here and do a lot of this. So OS, JSON, OAuth 1 session, cool. I don't have all of those installed, so we'll deal with that in a minute. Set environment variable keys, cool. I haven't done that yet. And you're not going to see that part because of what I said about the API key stuff. Yeah, shockingly, I don't want you guys to rate limit me. So let's see. Terminal on my other window. Export consumer key. Cool. And then export consumer secret. And if you're not familiar, real quick, with the Twitter API and the process to get these keys, all I did was, oh man, it was incredibly easy. It was very simple, all free. I'm not paying for any of this. You can, like, if you want to store, I think, like 5 million tweets at a time. But if you just Google, like, Twitter API and check out their documentation, I think all I hit was sign up, and it asked for, like, my email and, like, a general reason why I was using it. And then to get the actual API keys, I did have to, like, start a project, and it asked for, like, a reason and, like, a brief description, and that was all just, like, to help Twitter out. So I put, you know, some stuff there, and now I have this developer portal where you can see my monthly tweet cap usage. The development app I'm working on is Redis Live, since I'm working on it live, and we're going to use Redis, and I work at Redis. So my project is Redis plus Twitter. Ooh, and I got elevated. Cool. So that's just, it's still the free tier. You basically have sort of this, somewhere I could find the difference between all of those levels, but it doesn't really matter for the purposes of right now. So I exported those things. Now I need to be able to use them. Cool. Payload. Okay. So this is, I mean, I'm guessing I could call that anything I wanted, but for now we're going to call it that. And we're going to change that text though to hello Twitter, come hang out on live stream to see this tweet get published magically. Yeah, there we go. I think that's a great tweet. Okay, our request token URL. So that's like the api.twitter.com. And this is all like authorization access type equals right. Cool. We've got our key and our secret. And then we'll try to fetch that response. Fetch response, OAuth fetch request token URL. There may have been an issue. Okay. So I'm not sure if at this point, I haven't sent the payload anywhere. So like this definitely doesn't send that tweet. So what is the response going to be? I guess it's just like asking like, hey, here's my request token. I would like to do something. Okay. So like my request token is going to be just sort of the like, hello, Twitter API. I would like to do something. Will you let me do it? Cool. So then our resource owner key, that's our auth token, and our secret auth token, resource owner key. I don't probably want to print that. That should actually, it's not secret, so like it should be fine, but I'm still not going to print it because that's on a need to know basis. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, interesting. There's going to be a pin. That's kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that. We'll find out how that goes. And then get access tokens with our auth session, with our key, our secret, our resource owner key, our resource owner secret, and the verifier. Okay. Access token secret, make the request, making the request. Okay, cool. None of this is printing any of those secret things. So now we're just going to copy paste that whole thing, put it there, get a new terminal, and let's see. Source .. Oh, hold on. That's not in this directory. So we'll need to go to desktop, get projects, Twitter Redis, and then source .. my Python environment, bin, activate. I think I'll need to install that one. And I'm going to do that this way, Python 3-m pip install requests OAuth lib. Oh, I guess I did already have that. Okay. Cool. So Python 3 main.py. Fetch response is not defined. Cool. Okay. Well, I guess I should look at my code since theirs probably works. Okay, so fetch response is not defined. There may have been an issue with the consumer key or consumer secret you entered. Okay, so I will say when it has it here, like there are still these single quotes, and I did not put single quotes around mine. So I guess let me retry exporting my keys into strings. It probably makes a lot of sense that it is expecting those as strings. Okay, so consumer key and consumer secret. Have been exported again. Okay, so let's try that again. Nope, okay. Consumer key or consumer secret you entered. Well, this might be a significantly shorter expedition than I was expecting. Let's see, so that was my API key. That's my API key secret. Your API key secret is like a password. It helps us verify who you are. That's what I was expecting to need. But apparently that's not the case. So let's Google Twitter API consumer key. Okay, I'm going to open this and I'm going to pull it up over here just to make sure. Okay, cool. It's not going to like take me to my logged in page where my API keys are. So also known as the consumer key and secret. Okay, cool. So why doesn't mine work? Authorizing a request. How to modify HTTP requests. Okay. So let's actually, I guess, go back a step. Log in with Twitter. I would like to start a sign-in flow. Okay, but I want like fundamentals, developer apps. Essentially the username and password. Cool. I thought that's what I had. But I guess not. Please note you do not need to sign up for an account. If you need to create a new Twitter app, I've got a developer account. Okay, next steps. I've done that already, but let's hit that. I've already got that. Okay, so projects. Oh, this is probably my college assignment where I also had to use the Twitter API to make a word cloud. 3 environments per project. I haven't pulled any tweets. That's fine. About authentication. I sort of figured I was using this. Oh, wow, this bearer token. Oh, okay. Never mind then. So I do have a bearer token. It's just not what seems like I need. Maybe basic authentication. Email address and password. OAuth. I mean, I guess I am using all of that. So consumer key and consumer key secret. Okay, cool. So let's signed curl request with all of the generated tokens passed in an authorization header. Okay, let's try this. Copy that. Clear this. Paste it here. And what I'll need there, though, let's see. Oh, shoot. Okay. So consumer API key. I don't have a nonce. Create a signature from scratch. Oh, okay. So I need to do all of these things first. If you're wanting to make a request on behalf. 3-legged. I don't. Oh, okay. So this was not. I should read a little more carefully first. Making requests on behalf of users. It's me. So I didn't. So that's not quite right. Sending a request with keys and tokens. I feel like this should be all I need. Hello, beginner freelance developer. My name's Savannah. I'm a developer advocate at Redis, and I'm trying to figure out how to use the Twitter API. I've done it before, but clearly it's not going as smoothly as I was expecting. Pin-based OAuth. Okay, because this definitely says that it's going to ask for a pin. I'm just not sure why. This made it seem like this was going to be so simple, but I did that. So I guess let me check over on my other screen. Echo $, all caps, consumer key. Okay, yeah, it works. Like my consumer key gives me back the API key that I have. So is there like a time thing? Like, can is there something that I'm just like totally missing? I mean, obviously there is. Tutorials. Let's get started. View this tutorial. I have a project. I'm signed up for a developer account. Oh, activated the new developer portal experience. I feel, okay, hold on. Make your first request. Post a tweet. I think this is going to be exactly what I just tried to do. Sample code. This is going to take me to this code. Okay. So let's see. Twitter consumer key not working. Okay, cool. Oh, that's the API key and API secret. Consumer key is exactly API key and consumer secret is API secret. That's what I'm doing. The consumer key has been reissued. It's a different name for the same piece of information. This doesn't seem like what I need. Okay, so I did that. I wonder if there's a way to Twitter verify consumer key. I should probably throw Twitter API. To create a Twitter app and collect the consumer token, secret, access token, etc., go to the developer account, create a new app. I've done that. I did that. Okay, so this seems to say that there's not any like reason that like there's not like a time limit. Like there's not like a set like, oh, after you ask for the API keys, you have to wait this long, which is what I was kind of hoping for. So there may have been an issue with the consumer key or consumer secret you entered. I wonder if I can get any better information from that. So let's print that fetch response. Well, I guess that's not going to exist, is it? Okay, so let's do if it doesn't work, instead of printing this, I want to do print. Maybe. We'll try it. Only Unicode objects are escapable. Oh, well, okay. Well, that's not what I was expecting. OAuth signature. Huh. Well, got none of type, class none type. Okay, but value area, only Unicode objects are escapable. Does that mean that like there's something wrong here? I don't think it's the exclamation points, but I'm going to try getting rid of the exclamation points. The payload's not even involved yet, so it's definitely not that. So where have I gone astray? Let's go back here and grab all of this again. Maybe we will try it with just hello world. I'm going to add come hang out. On live stream to see this get published. Now I know it's not the exclamation points. Okay, so something else has gone wrong. Yeah, so fetch response is not defined, which means that this doesn't happen, which means there may have been an issue with the consumer key or consumer secret you entered. But I know what those are. Oh, a couple of days the Twitter API was changed, and not all features might work as before. That's fair. I was sort of curious about that when I sort of started down this road. But check the box to enter your own Twitter app information, invalid or expired tokens. That's not. I want to know. I want to go even simpler than this. I want to okay, here's an idea. Let's go command line. Get rid of this. Just get rid of that. Yeah, cool. Okay. Clear. And instead, so Python 3. We're going command line today just for a bit. Okay, well, I probably need to, hold on, exit, because I still have to do source. Python environment, bin, activate, cool. Python 3. But exit. Oh, maybe this isn't going to work either. Okay, now we're good. Cool. Okay. So then grab those. Because see, maybe there's just something wrong about that. I'll do a print of my consumer key. Not my consumer secret, but my consumer key. Ah, well, cool. I should have tried this sooner. There we go. Debugging at its finest. Okay, so consumer key is none. Hold on, exit that. $. Do I just not need the quotes? So, okay, is there something weird about exports that I'm missing where it's only exported to the smallest possible? It might be something like that because somewhere else I've got them exported. So I guess let's try doing them in here and then consumer secret. And then we'll clear that window. And now, hold on. Let me just hit the up button a few times. Okay, so now when I do an echo of my consumer key, we get some stuff. Cool, cool. So let's try this now. Okay. Consumer key is still there. Consumer secret is also there. But let's see, if I do echo of my consumer key right here, do I have to do it in here? Okay, so there's something that I don't understand about environment variables, evidently. I was that's fine. env variable works in the specific console window, which is just silly. Like, I'm in the same place, but that's okay. So I guess I'm going to move this one for a minute. We've got our consumer key and consumer secret. And then I'm going to hit clear and just try not to hit the up button too many times. So now, oh goodness, why did my window resize poorly? There we go. There we go. So now export, or not export, echo $, consumer key. Cool. Clear that out. And let's try this again. Python 3, main.py. Please go here and authorize. Okay. So we're going to command click that, open that up, authorize that to access my account, authorize that. There's the PIN. I don't know if that's a secret. I think that changes every time, but I'm going to do that anyways. So there we go. And we got a response code 201. So I'm like 98% sure now that if we go to twitter.com and go to my homepage, hello world, come hang out on live stream to see this get published. We've published a tweet from our Twitter API. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So I feel like that was the hard part. Environment variables are silly. They're not silly. Environment variables are really helpful and useful. It's just silly that it's only in that single console window. Like, it's not. That's fine though. It's okay. We figured it out. Thank you, Methalic, for helping us figure it out. Put in my system profile. That's fair. That's fair. I have done some things with my like environment file in that bash rc file. Okay, cool. So now what I want to do, because like the next step is sort of like checking out someone else's Twitter account. And for this one, we're going to use Guy Royce. So explore users' tweets and mentions. That's exactly what I want to do. I also have a bearer token. Click create new project. Cool. Cool. Keys and tokens. Okay, so the user tweet timeline and user mention timeline endpoints allow you to get tweets using a user ID. In order to get that, I can use this, okay? So let's copy that. But like that is cool. Does that ID, I guess, probably doesn't ever change. That's like a actual unique ID, not like a IP address as an ID. In order to get the tweet timeline for a user, run the following curl command. Oh, that's cool. Learn more about the user tweet timeline and user mention timeline endpoints. I'm gonna learn more about them real quick because I'd rather not like do curls from Python. It would be cool if I could do not that, but like, and instead do something more like this where it's like, here are the things I want, you know, there's the post, do the payload. Like that would be cool. But I don't know that. Jump to example requests. Twitter API v2 sample code. Okay, that's cool. I don't want to manage anything. I don't want to look at retweets, tweet user lookup, I guess. Okay, perfect. Oh, we've got user lookup, user mention timeline, and user tweet timeline. Those are the three things I want. So I wonder if I'm going to have to get a new pin every time I want to run this. That seems annoying. Get users, me, users context. I don't know what that means. Get users, me user. User fields are adjustable. Options include created at, description, entities, ID, location, name, pin, tweet ID. None of those seem particularly like things I want. Authorization, the pin, all of that stuff. User/me. Okay, so I think this is getting myself. But that's okay. We're going to do this. File, new file, test user.py. In my Twitter Redis. Yep, cool. There we go. Okay, so that answers yes. I have to do a new pin every time. That's kind of annoying. Authorize the app again. Get a new pin number, which is redundant. Okay. So this did just get like my information. And that's cool. That's fine. But I don't want my information. I have access to my information. So let's check out, I suppose, the change Python requests to use auth parameter. Get users, but I don't want it to be me. Get users with context. Okay. So let's see. Oh, I think I just need to change this usernames. Okay, so if I change, let's see. What is Guy Royce's username? This is fine. Twitter. Twitter.com. Search Twitter for Guy Royce. Guy Royce. Wow, well, keeping it simple, Guy. Love to see it. So user.fields, fields. Okay, so instead, usernames. Usernames. Colon, Guy Royce. That probably needs to be a string. Yep, okay, cool. So let's just try that again. I think at some point I get rate limited. I want to say I have like 50 requests every 15 minutes. So I think this is request number 3. I think we're doing just fine so far. Invalid request. Oh, well. Parameters, usernames, Guy Royce. The query parameter usernames is not one of. Oh. So I read that wrong. I don't think I read that wrong. Params equal, well, okay, let's try theirs. Is there anything else that seems fundamentally different? No. So most of this, it seems like a lot of this is exactly the same from request to request. Like this consumer, like the client, the access tokens, like those are always going to be the same. Oh, that's probably wrong. Because this is getting users by that parameters. And this is user/me. Yep, okay, so that's wrong for someone else. So instead, I need that. And we'll try it again. Also, because I like paste the pin here, honestly, it's just because this is like ugly. No. Nope, don't do that. Would you like to code to periodic? No, don't do that. Why did I? Whatever. Anyways, we got Guy Royce's ID data. There's his ID. So now what? Well, I know what. First of all, I'm going to check if this notification is someone liking my tweet. Ah, thanks, Methalic. So probably instead of user lookup, I want user mentions. And we're going to go try and find people that mention Guy Royce. And this, so like we actually might start using Redis. We are going to start using Redis. So main.py, this is really more of like a test.py. So I'm just going to kind of get rid of it because I don't need it anymore. That was like a test to see and make sure that I could do what I was trying to do. So now I'm going to need to set my bearer token. And I've got that in my other window. So bear with me. Clear the bearer token. Now just finding the right window that has that. There it is. Copied. And pasted. Oh, shoot. But that's not going to work because I have to put it in here. So pull that off to the side. Do it again. Clear that out. Clear it out. And we're back. So I did this. I did exactly that. But I replaced your bearer token with my bearer token. Replace with user ID below. Oh man, I gotta scroll up real quick to get Guy Royce's ID. But that means I had to scroll past my bearer token. So I had to take it off the screen for you. Well, for me, really. It is so that I don't get rate limited. It's not for you. It's for me. And if my window would resize a little bit better, that would be super cool. But there is Guy Royce's user ID. So now options include attachments, author ID, return tweet.fields created at. That's not really what I want. Connect to the endpoint using the bearer authentication. That's cool. Error status, that's fine. Get params. That's probably what I need to change. Because really, instead of this, I want the text. What's the difference between source and text? I'm not sure, but we're going to go text. That's test. Text. Okay. Okay, so let's start by running that. Python 3 main.py. There we go. Oh, and I didn't have to do a pin. Long ago, Guy Royce suggested I go to CodeMash. There we go. Guy Royce was just recently at CodeMash, so that's super cool. Hold on a second. Let me find a window real quick. There it is. Okay, so these are all the texts of tweets that have mentioned Guy Royce in the past some amount of time. I don't want to scroll too recklessly since I did put my bearer token in here for that environmental variable. But we did it. We got it. So I don't really care about any of this metadata. I really just care about this text. So how do I actually get just the text? Connect to endpoint, print that JSON.dumps, JSON response. Okay, so let's write another function. Parse text. This doesn't really make grammatical sense because we're not really parsing the text to Redis, but we're going to parse the text and store it to Redis. So we're kind of like parsing the text into Redis. It's fine. It works. I know what I mean. But that is going to need the JSON response. So I'll call it JSON of text. JSON of tweets. Actually, that's a very accurate variable name for once in my life. So what I want is JSON of tweets dot. Can I use just dot notation? I think I can. No, it's probably this notation. So let's see. We've got an ID. So where does the new one start? Right here, I think. Edit history, tweet IDs, ID. Oh, I guess you can edit. That's cool. That's kind of cool. So I could check like if the tweet had been edited, like if those two things don't match, or if there's more than one. It's probably just like if there's more than one ID in this edit history tweet IDs, like you know that a tweet's been edited. That's kind of cool. So then I think I just need at text. At text. And then I don't want to print that anymore. I want to see if we can get just the text. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I didn't actually call that function. So parse text to Redis with JSON response. Oop, that's not what I needed. Don't do that. Don't just close, just escape. Good, good, good. Key error text, okay. Cool, so what's the best way to do this? I don't want to keep, so this is why I'm going to start trying to store them in Redis. That way I can process them without having to make a bunch more API calls because I am going to run out of them at some point because I have the free access level of the Twitter API. So I get 50 requests every 15 minutes. Sorry. Yes, maybe it's something like that. Developer portal. Tweet caps. Give me the thing. Give me the 50 tweets a second. Oh, just kidding. Okay, we're not going to hit 2 million tweets per month. I'm not worried about this anymore. We can make as many requests as we want. Iterate over the collection. That's fair. This is a list of JSONs. So for tweet in JSON of tweets. Actually, I don't know if JSON of tweets is a list. JSON response. Return response.json. We're just JSONifying it. It might be a list. I'm going to hope it's a list. And then tweet at text. String indices. Oh, so now we're at a string. Okay, let's print the tweet then. Data and meta. Okay. Well, let's print the type of JSON of tweets. It's a dictionary. Okay. So I know what JSON of tweets, well, I don't really know what it looks like because that dump s turns it all into a string. So I guess let's just take a look at this dictionary. I'm going to guess it's going to be all in the data. So I'm going to guess we need to do data. Okay. So we've got data, and then we've got a list, probably a list of tweets. So like this open, let's see where the close is. I'm going to guess it's going to be right there. Okay, and then the next one is going to be that edit history tweet IDs. Okay, so we need to do data, and then that's going to be our list. Oh, just let me shrink this. Oh no, I made my terminal too big. I don't know how to shrink it. Like I made it take up the whole thing. Oh, just that. Nope. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. So list of tweets equals JSON of tweets at data. And then for tweet in list of tweets, print tweet at text. Think. No, stop trying to do that. At text. And it's not nested in anything else other than like this one, which is what we should have. Okay, cool. So I think we're there now. Perfect. Boom. So tweet at text. Text equals tweet at text. I mean, that's fine, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. So what do I want to do? So my idea, sort of like overarching, was to put all of the tweets that mention someone. Right now it's Guy Royce. Hypothetically, it could be like a big company that like tweets all the time, into a stream using Redis, because Redis streams are super easy for processing data. And then I wanted those consumer groups to do some like light sentiment analysis. That way we can see like, are people being mean to Guy or are people being nice to Guy? So the question is really like, do I want to do the sentiment analysis here and like put that as part of the stream? And then, maybe instead I'll do a little bit of time series and do sentiment over time. I think that's how we're going to start. So the next thing I'm going to do is Google Python sentiment analysis library. Because I know there's one. There's like 5. Okay. I don't really care all that much about which one. We're just going to use the top one. NLTK is cool. And then at sentiment score dot apply. Okay, so I need to do that. And then why is it using a lambda? And the entire data frame of text. Okay, but like this one says it's easier, or sorry, this one's more concise, but that's okay. I don't really care all that much. Cia.polarity scores. But I don't need a whole data frame. Like I just need the one thing. More neutral words exist. Over scales tend to normalize more towards neutral words. Sarcasm and jargon are often misinterpreted. I know that. Okay, that's cool. We'll figure it out. NLTK, we'll just go like this, and we'll go there. Python And Geeks for Geeks is probably going to have a super simple way to do this. Love to see it. Okay, so this is Vader. Is that what I'm using? No, I'm using NLTK sentiment. We can use Vader instead. I don't have a strong feeling about it yet. If you guys do have strong feelings about your sentiment analyzers, you should drop a comment whenever you watch this on YouTube later. Or once I publish this on GitHub, you are welcome to make recommendations about sentiment analysis. But for now, I'm going to do this because it's easy to follow. So this sentiment analysis, I keep wanting to say analysizer, but that is wrong. It is a sentiment analyzer. Okay, so that's fine to do up here. And then SID object.polarity scores for the sentence. That just needs to go right here. And then I can pop that there. Perfect. Cool. I can grab an ID as well and put the ID plus text into a Redis stream. That's true. That's true. I think right now I like the time series idea of like how mean are people over time. That way, like we could look at something big. Like we could, you know, hypothetically, I could go grab like, I don't know, what's a fun one? Where is there like a Twitter account? There is. It's like we could grab like the Twitter ID and we could see like people's mentions at Twitter and see if they're like a time analysis of when they're positive and negative. Let's do that. Maybe not today. Maybe we'll start with guys, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Because once we have this working, like changing out that user ID will be super simple. So getting like a big company, a big something, like a big celebrity, we can like see when their mentions go from like positive to negative, like over time. I think that'll be kind of cool. So then, and also I haven't really used Redis time series at all on stream. I've used them very minorly for some like examples. But I haven't really had to use Redis time series. So this is fun for everybody. Fun for everybody. It's great. We're all learning. At least I am. I hope you guys are. That's not, I want commands. Time series, nope, not transactions. Time series. Oh, this is also the perfect time to point out that I am using Redis stack. Redis stack is still free to use. It's still open source. It just has a lot of new things like the time series module. It's not a module. It's just part of Redis stack now. So you just sort of get all of these features. If you Google like Redis stack, it literally just pops up with a page that's like, Redis stack is the new and improved starting point to using Redis. So yeah, it's cool. It has things like time series. I'm checking right now to see if timeseries.add will automatically create a time series for me. There are some data structures where like when you add the first thing, it knows what you're doing and it makes the data structure for you. There are other things where you have to initialize a data structure and sort of give it like initial parameters, especially with some of the probabilistic data structures. Like you have to tell it how accurate you want it to be, the size, some general stuff like that. So I'm looking now to see what's going to happen. Key name for the time series. Yes, so when specified key does not exist, a new time series is created. Perfect. And over here, learning is fundamental. You love to see it. Speaking of learning being super fun, I learned a fun fact today that there are solar cycles where basically over like 22 years, the sun goes from like being lighter to being darker to being lighter to being darker. And it's like sunspots and it's a cycle and it's pretty cool. I don't really know what it means like for the world, but it was cool to learn. XKCD posted a comic about it, which is how I learned about it. So cool. Okay. So the other thing about these commands is that ts.add, this is how you'd use it from the command line. But I'm not running Redis from the command line, so I'm going to go Redis py GitHub. Because the required arguments versus optional arguments every once in a while are different between the command line and each of the clients. So Redis has clients for Python, Node.js, others. And every once in a while, they're a little bit different, like which arguments are required and which ones aren't. So I'm just going to check out ts_add here. And okay, so key, timestamp, and value. Okay, so I'm going to need a timestamp. So I don't, okay, so I need to check out, oh man, okay. We'll print the tweet. And then because we're doing it, we might as well print that SID object because I don't know what it's going to look like yet. So while we're debugging, oh, no module named Vader sentiment. That's expected. Python 3 -m. That's equals m -m. Pip install Vader sentiment. Boom, easy. Vader sentiment, cool. Okay, so I guess I should probably finish that. But also, this doesn't have a time it was created. So like each tweet has the history tweet IDs and the text, but I no longer have created at. Oh, did I specify that I? So, but I feel like when I printed this JSON response, okay, let's do this, get rid of that. I feel like these had a time. They didn't. Okay, well, that makes me feel better. Okay, so instead, I guess I'm going to add up here to these params. I want the text, and I also need the created at. Is that not how you spell created at? Ooh, how do I put more than one of those there? Let's find, did I close all my windows? Oh, wild. Ooh, I think ID is a timestamp. That would be helpful. Newest ID. Let's check that out and let's go epoch time converter. You can see this is purple. I have used it before. So, ooh, this oh, well, assuming that the timestamp is in nanoseconds. Oh, that was not English, sorry. Assuming that this timestamp is in nanoseconds, Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021. Let's go see. Is that really the last time anyone tweeted a guy? Let's find out. Because the cool thing about it is we can just go to Guy Royce's Twitter page, his tweets and replies, maybe. How do I see? Let's see. So, okay, let's see. So this one heard a lovely story this week about how Guy Royce impacted a speaker's trajectory. I don't see that one here. Although these tweets are about a lot of the same people, so maybe it'll be at the top. Nope. Okay, so this tweet isn't there. Did I set a limit somewhere on how? Let's see. Okay, well, first, let's start with one thing. Let's go find this tweet and see if it was tweeted at that time. So long ago, Guy Royce suggested I go to Code Mash, and if it's a timestamp, we think it was Wednesday, March 3rd of last year. So long ago, oh, wait, hold on. Is that it? Long ago, Guy Royce suggested I go to Code Mash. Long ago, Guy Royce suggested I go to Code Mash. That was on January 14th. And that epoch converter is Wednesday, March 3rd. Okay, so that's not what it is. It might be that plus some other data. So let's see. Okay, this was at January 14th, 8:42 a.m. So January 14th, 8:42. Don't know the seconds. a.m. Probably local time. I'm sort of assuming this is my local time, 8:42 a.m., but I don't know that. That might be Greenwich Mean Time. We'll try both. Human date to timestamp. So let's see, that's the epoch timestamp is 1673. We're at 1614 here for the ID, so I don't think it is a timestamp. It would have been super convenient if that ID was a timestamp. But unless I'm messing this up, it does not appear to be that way. So I'm going to get, I'm going to add this created at, but I don't think that's the correct way to do that because clearly it's not. So how do let's go back to Twitter developer. Let's start there. Actually, let's hit that back button and let's go Twitter developer because it's like essentials basic info maybe is where, nope, okay. Make your first request. Oh, just give me back the GitHub page. Let's go. Actually, let's go here where you can tell I need to update Google Chrome, but instead we can find our recently closed Twitter API example code. So we want to look up users mention timeline, users mention.py. Okay, so what if I want multiple fields? Options include these things. What if I want more than one? Like, is that just all I can do? Connect to endpoint. It feels like this should be able to be a list of parameters. So maybe this just needs to be a list of things, like a list. We'll try that. Invalid request. One or more parameters to your request was invalid. Okay, well, open API spec. Oh, geez, I don't want that. Well, maybe I do want that. If your request takes a post body, ensure the contents is valid JSON and matches the open API spec. Okay, well, let's make that a lot larger. And then Command F for params. Param. Okay, well, parameters has 270 hits. Let's see, list batch compliance jobs. Okay, so does that mean that I can get one for list user? No. What are the other 6? List user owned lists, user pinned lists, list user pin, list user unpin, follow, unfollow. Okay. User men. Nope, nothing for user mentions. Okay. Why can I not get 2 parameters? I should be able to use 2 parameters. So what if instead of this get parameters, I just, well, because the parameters are going to be like the tweet.fields as well as probably the user stuff. So like when I was over here, I had to have like these 2 things. Like that's probably what it's looking for. Do I just need like another user dot fields? That's what I need. Okay, cool. User dot fields. But it's not a user. So why didn't that work as a list? Okay, well, we'll try it. Fields equals this list. Oh, geez. Fields. Okay, so this test user thing where I tried this before, we have fields created at and a description, and then just put the fields there. Oh, but it's not as a list. It's okay. It's as one long string. That's what it was. That's such an odd way to do that. It's a comma separated string, I suppose. Okay, well, good for you, Twitter API, for confusing me. But that's okay. So now we've got created at, which is perfect. So how do I get there? I guess it's just the created at in the text. Okay, cool. So here I'll need created at equals tweet at created at. And I'm going to change, well, I'm going to change that to single quotes for consistency. Okay, cool. So, and then we need to go back to my Geek for Geeks thing on how to get an actual like number out of here. Oh, well then. So I have this line, polarity scores. And I'm trying to print it, but this is telling me that it's just like a sentiment object. So, it gives a sentiment dictionary. Okay, well, so is sentence a whole dictionary? Where is sentence? Oh, okay. No, it's just a single sentence. Sentiment scores of sentence. Oh, okay. So sentence was rated. Okay, so what I want is actually going to be something like all of these things. Okay, so this is a dictionary. It's not that the sentence was a dictionary. It's that this whole thing is a dictionary. Okay, so sent for sentiment equals that whole thing. And then what I probably want is the maximum of those and then kind of classify it that way. Like decide sentiment is positive, negative, or neutral. Oh, no, that's what I want. This is what I want. Okay, cool. So sentiment dict at compound. At compound. So sent score equals all that. Could it be that there's a limit on number of records returned by a Twitter API? I think there is. So when I went, let's see, if I pull this up a little bit, you can see that this result count is 10. And that's like the metadata for what I got. So I got 10. Like here's my newest ID. So the newest one was this ID. The oldest ID is this one. I got 10 things. So really the question is, how do I make more? How do I page through that? 100 tweets pulled of 2 million, 0%. And they've probably been quite a few of the same 100 tweets. So that will be the next question. Yeah. But for now, I'm going to put them into a time series. That way, hopefully, my goal in the next 40 minutes is to have Guy's sentiment of the last 10 tweets in a time series. And then I'm going to pull up Redis Insight for you guys. And hopefully we'll be able to like actually see like the time series data. That's the goal for the next 40 minutes. I think we should be able to do it. I think like realistically, I think once I do r.ts.add, oh, well, I probably need to actually have a Redis connection in here somewhere. R equals Redis. And this just uses all of the defaults, so like the default port stuff. So r.ts.add. And somewhere I had pulled up specifically the GitHub for Redis Pi, but I lost it. So we're going back to it. Redis commands, time series, commands, ts.add, key, timestamp, and value. Cool. The key is going to be tweet. Let's make it specific. So Guy tweets. It's not even tweets. Guy mentions sentiment. And then timestamp. Yes. Oh, union int stir. What are you expecting? Timestamp of a sample. I don't know what timestamp it's expecting. Well, we'll give it created at and we'll see what happens. And then the sent score. Okay, so re-include that, get rid of that. And Redis object has no attribute TS. Cool. ts.add. Well, Redis time series Python. That's cool. We love to see Redis developer blog posts. I just need to know. So it's TS with parentheses. Well, TS well, we've got r equals redis.redis. We don't have this stuff because he's like connecting to a real cloud database. But let's see, r.ts parentheses dot create Redis object has no attribute TS. Well, that's awkward. Python 3. Import Redis r equals Redis dot Redis r.ts dot create. Okay, well, that's let's see. Oh, wait, Guy Royce is here. He's feeling sentimental. That's great. We're gonna see whether or not people like you when they mention you in their tweets. But also, if you have a tip on how to check why Redis has no time series attribute, that would be cool. Oh, actually, let's make sure. Let's see. Okay, so in Docker, it's over here, but over here, you can see that I am running Redis stack. I haven't pulled this image in a while. I don't. Let's see. Oh, Redis is watching me. The version. Can you tell me how to check the version in Docker? Or is it in Docker? Do I have to do a command? Inspect. Stats. Logs. I mean, I'm definitely, so hold on. Let's go real quick. Sanity check. Python 3. Import Redis. R equals Redis dot Redis. R dot bf dot add. Bloom. See, Bloom filter is one that you do actually have to reserve first. So let's just do r.bf. Redis object has no attribute bf. So I am probably doing something terribly wrong. Or not like terribly wrong. I just probably have like not the version of Redis I expected. So what we're going to do is literally just delete it. Personally, I use Redis databases hosted locally on Docker for things that I can wipe all of them because it's just in Docker and that's not like super secure storage for things long term. So I don't store important things there. And instead, we're going to go Redis stack Docker. And we're going to grab the Redis stack because we want Redis Insight as well. So Redis stack, grab that. Apparently I have moved all of my terminals away for those secret keys. So I'll bring it back. There's that Docker run. So let's try it now. Redis object has no attribute ts. So I'll repeat, Guy Royce. What's the easiest way to check my version of Redis? Which Redis? Oh, well, which Redis? Redis not found. Well, Yeah, so I just did the Docker poll. So like this should be the latest. Our time series in latest or our time series in Edge? So I'm going to change this to, instead of Redis stack latest, Redis stack Edge. Yes, it should pull a new one. So Redis stack Edge, very cool, very fun, but not always the most stable, I guess I'll say. Ooh, version of Redis Pi. That's also a fair question. I should know how to do that off the top of my head, but I don't. I always want to just do like which Redis Pi. Redis Pi is not found. So where Redis Pi? Check version Redis Pi. This is not going to come up with anything. But I don't want the version of Redis. Let's just do that. Python 3. -n pip install Redis pi. Is it like an underscore? Oh, it's just Redis. That's why. Requirement already satisfied, so I don't think I can update it at all. 3.5. There we go, 3.5. Pip list. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's handy. So let's see. HIJKLMNOPQR. So I've got Redis 3.5. Oh, and I've got Redis time series 0.8, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever explicitly tried to download that. But yeah, we've got Redis 3.5. And we've definitely got the latest Redis stack Docker image, but still no probabilistic data structures or time series. So we don't have the stack things. Let's see. So what I was going to do was go here, commands, stack. What's something else in stack that I can check like very quickly? Well, I tried time series and blue filter, and they were both like, that's not a thing anymore. So, I guess let's check here. Like, oh, so Redis 4.4.2. Okay, so this is, I do not have the latest version. So pip upgrade. Update. Sometimes I just try things. I like kind of assumed that that would work, but it did not work. So pip force update. Okay, so pip install -u. Let's try that. No such option. Man, I'm crushing it today. Let's go for it. Pip install -- upgrade -- force reinstall Redis. Error, could not install package. Okay, cannot move the non-empty directory. Is it because I'm like in my virtual environment that is it mad at me? Do I not have the right permissions? What is it like? Sudo bang bang. Unable to execute no such file or directory. Oh, okay. It's because I'm in my, hold on. Deactivate? Okay, cool. But now we're not in my virtual environment. So source bin activate. Let's just give it a shot. It's not going to work, and that's okay. But I'm going to give this a shot. Main.py. Nope. Okay. So pip 3. Cool. Okay. So pip 3. So maybe it's because I haven't actually successfully aliased pip 3 to pip. Maybe, potentially. Let's see if that changes anything. Nope. Cannot move the non-empty directory. Lacking permissions. Sudo bang bang. No such file or directory. Yeah, it's like I don't have pip. It's like I don't have pip. Okay, so install pip in virtual environment, I guess. Python 3-m pip install user upgrade pip. That's fine. Cool. Requirement already satisfied. Okay. Well then. Well, why doesn't pip3 exist? So like it's unable to execute git projects envpy. Wait, why is it looking in that folder? Like this part just shouldn't be there. My envpy should be in git projects. So like if I do cd ls, that's where my Python environment is. So if I cd into git pod bloom, do I also have an envpy here? I do. Let's do an rm-rf on that envpy. Okay, and then go to the Twitter Redis. And this envpy is still working as expected because that's not where it lives. Okay, so I just had two different envpys and I had called them both env_py, and that was confusing. So lesson learned for now. I will probably forget that lesson. Python 3 main.py. But Redis still has no attribute time series. Well then. What's weird is that like I've distinctly used probabilistic data structures on stream before, and have never had this issue. Not that this is a probabilistic data structure, but those come with Redis stack as well. So I'm assuming that like I don't have anything from Redis stack. Import Redis r equals redis.redis. Let's go like Redis info command. Returns information about the cert. That's fine. Let's just do like r.info. I'm like 98% sure that's a thing. It is. Okay. So let's find the top of it. Redis version 6.2.7. Redis stack bin. The executable is opt Redis stack bin Redis server. Okay, so this should like that's explicitly Redis stack. So why on earth can't I use the Redis stack things? Huh. Huh, huh, huh. Redis stack. Oh, this says Redis stack latest, which that feels wrong considering I ran. Oh, okay. So the container name Redis stack is already in use. I thought I killed this one. Delete that. So let's try that again. Okay. Redis stack. Are you going to show me if it's Redis stack edge or latest? I don't actually know how to make it show me the full name of this. Ooh, shouldn't it be bin/Redis stack server executable? Ooh, it should be. I don't know that for sure, but it should be. Redis stack bin Redis server. Let's try. Let's see. If I go to localhost 8001. Okay, so Redis Insight comes built into the Redis Stack Docker image. So if I'm using this, we'll use the recommended settings. I have understood those. So we're connected to Redis Stack. And I bet if I do just like a Redis-CLI, if I do like set hello world, refresh this. Okay, cool. So enter into a console from the Docker page and check Redis CLI info modules. That's clear. A control sequence attempted to clear. Yes, always allow that. Okay, cool. Make this larger. Redis dash CLI info modules. I think I've got time series. Graph, search, JSON, BF, so that should be all the probabilistic data structures. Module name is time series. Okay, so is there something fundamentally different? Let's go File, New Window. Let's see. Let's go to Streams app. I think I used some probabilistic data structures in here. Import Redis. I guess I did all of this, which that shouldn't be the thing that makes a difference. But we can try it. Nope. Okay. Well, folks, this is a new problem for me. Quite a few fun problems today with learning a little bit more about environment variables and how they only exist in the window you put them in. And now trying to learn why Redis object has no attribute TS, when all signs point to it existing. Our module name is time series. Maybe do I have to type out time series? Time series. Time series. Maybe. Okay, that's not working. Let's try instead. Let's open Gitpod Bloom. Let's open that. So this one is like very clearly, specifically all about probabilistic data structures and Bloom filters, which are probabilistic data structures. So I think, can I just run Python 3 app.py? Okay, so that ran. Not in a virtual environment, it ran. Have I done something just absolutely terrible? No, okay. For a second, I was worried that I had just done something real weird with that virtual environment, and then when I deactivated it, it was going to work. I'm glad that that's not the case. Although I suppose there's little point in a virtual environment when there was no like conflicting, there was nothing that was like, oh, this thing doesn't exist outside your virtual environment, but that's okay. I'm going to use it anyways. Source. NPy bin activate. Let's do that over here too. Source. NPy bin and run it again. And no problems. Okay, so let's go Flask run. So over here, you can see a Redis Flask Bloom filter application. This was a very early project. So let's try test. Add it to the Bloom filter. Undefined, but it was added. And over here, we didn't get any errors. We got a 200. Okay, so for some reason, it's working fine from this app, but not the other one. Which kind of makes it worse. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't work anywhere. Like that at least seemed more logical. Let's see. Check under your vend, Python 3. M pip list. We've got Redis 3.5 and Redis time series, which 3.5 is not updated. Over here, Redis pip and scope install. On here, we've got 4.4.2. So I thought I had forced that upgrade. Clearly not. I thought I had forced that upgrade right here. Okay, so now if I do this, we've still got Redis 3.5. Okay, so, but also, hold on, over here, Control C. If I do Python 3-m pip list. Over here, we've also, over here we've got Redis 4.4.2. Okay, so I have done something absolutely terrible with my Python environments. Something absolutely terrible. We've got 4.4.2 here and 3.5 over here. So why? So pip is for system level Python and you're using vn. That's fair. So how do I force it to upgrade inside this environment? Because I sort of still figured this would do it. Do I have a requirements.txt? Man, that'll be smart one day. I do not. I knew. Okay. I usually do that. I usually do it. Python 3 -m pip install. Okay, cool. So pip install lists, Redis 3.5. I'm also not sure that Redis 3.5 shouldn't have probabilistic data structures. It might not. Or time series. Sorry, we're using time series here. It just comes with Redis stack, which is also where all the probabilistic data structures are. And they're on my mind because they're super cool. but I have now tried Python 3-m pip install upgrade, force reinstall Redis. Let's try getting rid of the force reinstall part. Requirement already satisfied. Requirement already satisfied, 4.4.2. So it's not doing it in the virtual environment. Let's upgrade pip real quick. Running pip as the root user can result in broken permissions and conflicting behavior with the system package manager. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so what if I get rid of the sudo? Sudo. Could not install packages. Oh, so that's where this is why I tried doing sudo. Okay, can I just like, let's hit deactivate. And then if I do pip list, Redis 3.5. So I do one of these. Sudo bang bang. But my pip list is still going to show it at 3.5. And it still shows it at 3.5. Okay, so, well, this was fun. I'm going to spend the next week doing some package management because I clearly need it. Different virtual environments that should have been the same virtual environment have different package versions, which is no bueno. And unfortunately is a pretty solid major block for me at the moment. Ooh, or maybe work inside Docker. Maybe one day. Honestly, right now, pretty much my entire knowledge of Docker is copy pasting that command to get a Docker container running that I can then use. I know Docker can be a lot more powerful than that, though, so I definitely should get more familiar with that. It just hasn't been something that's come up for me yet. So maybe this is a great time to try that out, but also do a little bit of a deep dive into how to fix this current problem. Yeah, let's see. I'll throw some banners out to you guys. Redis Insight is what I was trying to show you a time series visualization in. You can download it for yourself. But the biggest thing that I'll probably recommend you do if you're here right now is join the Redis Discord at discord.gg/Redis. It's where people post questions, and us as developer advocates, along with the entire community, tries to answer questions for you. And you might get more eyes on a problem, and also people that maybe have done something similar, even if it's not one of the developer advocates, just because, we are human. We only have limited knowledge and scope. So come hang out, join the whole community, and ask all of your questions. If you're watching this right now, you are probably either watching on YouTube, and this will be posted in syndication for all of you to watch later. And in hindsight, we'll probably be able to point out exactly what I needed to do instead of what I did to fix this. Or you're watching on Twitch live. So, yeah, I will be back this time next week. Well, not this time, but 2 hours ago from now. Next week, 2 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays. I'll be back and I'll have my package management figured out so that I can get up and running with a Redis time series to show whether or not people like Guy Royce. Tune in next time. Thanks so much.